And in Sudan, a hike in bread prices there sparked protests across the country this week, in which one student was killed and an opposition leader was arrested. The government denied that the demonstrations were in response to price rises after it eliminated subsidies in its 2018 budget as part of austerity measures.
Protests over rising bread prices broke out across Sudan this week, leading to the death of a student and the arrest of a prominent opposition leader as authorities confiscated newspapers and looked to clamp down on growing unrest. Bread prices doubled following the government's announcement late last month that it was eliminating subsidies in its 2018 budget.
People who buy bread daily at 10 Sudanese pounds, which is about $1.5 US, have to buy it for 20 or 30 Sudanese pounds. There are some who cannot buy bread now. They can increase anything, but with bread, there should be a red line. It is unacceptable to increase the price of bread by more than 200% and also reduce the weight of a loaf of bread. Families cannot afford this.
The removal of subsidies is part of austerity measures as the country struggles in the face of inflation running at about 25% and an acute shortage of hard currency that has sapped import activity. Amnesty International says that up to 185 people may have been killed in 2013 when thousands took to the streets in demonstrations against fuel price increases. Protests have since been much smaller, and the main opposition parties have called for peaceful demonstrations against the bread price rises. Authorities also blocked the sale of 6 daily newspapers carrying critical average of the subsidy cut and price rises. Sudan has begun a series of economic reforms in line with International Monetary Fund recommendations to try to bolster its economy, months after a U.S. decision to lift sanctions raised hopes that badly needed investments may return.
It is very difficult for the economy for these reforms to succeed in the current circumstances unless other methods are adopted to increase production and encourage exports to upgrade revenues. The urgent solution is to attract serious investors to utilize the potential of Sudan, especially oil and minerals. Because of its rapid output, it can help boost revenue and return the balance to a national currency.
This month, Sudan devalued its pound currency to 18 per US dollar, more than double its previous peg of 6.7 pounds to the dollar.
And finally, oil prices eased in early trade on Friday after hitting their highest level since December 2014, the previous day. Although analysts and traders have been warning of the risk of a downward price correction since the start of the year, they point out that overall market conditions remain strong, largely due to ongoing production cuts led by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and Russia. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $63.62 a barrel, 18 cents below their last settlement. WTI the day before hit its strongest since late 2014 at $64.77 a barrel. Brent crude futures were at $69.27 a barrel, virtually unchanged from their last close. Brent also marked a December 2014 high the previous day at $70.05 a barrel. And that's a wrap on the program for today and, of course, for the week. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chimize Obi Iwago.